Humans are unnerving, Part 3. A story by user ZombieRedditer9188. I took a sip of tea and I could feel my body relaxing. I tried my hardest to forget the bodies, lying still next to each other on the pavement, Alan delivering first aid before just stopping. I had broken down then, crying into my paws. 4 people with hopes, dreams, passions, families and friends, all dead, all gone. I took yet another sip of tea, licking my lips nervously. I remembered how Alan had tried to comfort me, and how I had pushed him away. Was I too harsh? It seemed like the right thing to do at the moment. But of course, it wasn't. Adrenaline and fear must have clouded my sense of judgment. Feeling guilty, I was overjoyed when I received a text message from Alan. "Hey Reka, I'm free this weekend. We could go to the VR cafe you're always talking about. That is, if you're not too busy. Alan." I quickly typed back a response, fumbling with my letters. "Sure. Haha, glad you're up to go somewhere. I think it'd be great to take our minds off, you know." I finished the last of my tea, excited and nervous for tomorrow. Alan and I have never really spent time with each other outside of work, the only exception being when we walk to the monthly work parties. I immediately began planning. A few hours at the VR cafe, then maybe lunch together? Or just VR. Or maybe we could even go drinking later in the evening. My thinking was interrupted by Alan responding to my text. "Yeah, same here. Also, I apologize for leaving you to speak with the police officer. I feel like staying with you would have been the better option." I felt a weird, warm feeling rippling through my body, and I shivered. I hastily texted him back. "It's fine, I wasn't being myself anyways, shock and all. I was driven home by another police officer." Alan replied quickly, and after I read it, I felt even more tingly inside. "That's good. I'm glad you're okay now." I couldn't stand the feeling anymore. I sent Alan one last text and turned off my phone. "Yeah, I'm fine now. Anyways, I gotta go to bed. See you tomorrow." I crawled underneath the warm cover of my ergonomic bed, wondering what tomorrow would bring. Alan read Reka's final text over and over. Why had she ended their conversation so early? There were lots of things they hadn't discussed properly. The time, if anyone else was going with them, who'd be paying, etc. No worries, sleep was very important to a kite after all. Alan got into his bed and cleared his throat. "Lights off," he said out loud, and his bedroom lights turned off instantly. Within minutes, he was asleep. I woke early in the morning, putting on casual clothing. Black shorts and a red t-shirt. Should I dress more professionally? No, it's a VR cafe. I went into my kitchen to find something to eat, and I settled for toast with River Hive jam and a ripe onnate. It was a simple, filling meal, and I loaded my utensils and plates into the dishwasher before texting Alan. "So, what's a good time for you? I'm thinking of meeting up around 9:30 to 10. Alan replied within a few minutes. "Yeah, sure, if that's the best time for you. Let's meet up at 9:30 then." I replied to his text message as fast as I could. "All right, sounds good. See you at 9:30. "See you there," Alan responded. Alan parked in front of the VR cafe. It was a tall, modern building, and he entered. Reka was sitting down at the table near the entrance, and Alan silently walked up to her. "Hey," he said, and Reka jumped, turning around. "Hey, Alan," she squeaked, looking surprised. "Good to see you," he smiled brightly, and sat down across the table from her. "So, what's the plan? What are we playing?" he asked, and Reka grinned. "Well, in terms of a plan, I don't really have one. You like shooters?" she asked, and Alan sat up. "Now you're talking. Got any in mind?" Reka paused to think. You know, like Storm and Siege and Dash. They were big hits with billions of copies sold across the galaxy. Wow, Reika, I had no idea you were so modern, Alan told her, and she blushed. Well, my brother got me into games, and I started playing here, but I figured it would be more fun with others, Reika explained. Well, don't worry, I'm here, Alan said as he stood up, walking over to the self-checkout counter. I followed Alan closely behind, almost bumping into him as he stopped abruptly. SNS or Dash? He asked, and I answered without hesitation. Dash, definitely. I agree. It's more exciting. There's more of a thrill, you know? SNS is more tactical, but there's something about getting to fight and kill more in Dash that's really fun, Alan murmured. There was something about the way he said that made my fur slowly rise. Alan continued speaking as he looked at the VR options. It's more chaotic and the AI feels more realistic. Instead of just playing aggressively or defensively, you can sense their emotion. You get what I'm saying? They can act scared and run away, and you have to hunt them down. I felt my tail curling around my body with fear, and I slowly backed away from him. Anyways, what AI difficulty do you want? Easy, normal, hard, merciless, ramp up? Ramp up, I stammered. Yeah, I think that's the best difficulty too. He turned to look at me, a big smile on his face, and my fear disappeared instantly. It was weird seeing Alan so casual and enthusiastic about something, when he usually just acted mature and professional. Well, I hope you're ready for the next 2 hours. Alan chuckled. Wait, why'd you pay? I asked. I thought I might as well pay, he replied. You didn't need to do that, I protested. It's okay. It was only $120, Alan told me. Let me get you lunch, I said, and he raised an eyebrow. Sure, I'll take that. Alan responded before looking at his phone. I got the confirmation code. Let's go. He walked to the main elevator, pressing the button. I paused to think in silence. Why was I so scared of Alan? Sometimes he terrified me for no real reason. There was no reason for me to feel this way, right? Maybe I was the problem. What if I'm... Reika. Alan's voice snapped me out of my thinking, and I realized Alan was holding the elevator for me. Sorry, I was thinking. I hurried into the elevator, standing next to him, and he looked up at me curiously. Must be some interesting thoughts, he said, but didn't push the issue further. We reached the 3rd floor, and I followed Alan down a long hallway in front of an electronic door. He entered the confirmation code, and we entered the room. If you're new here, welcome aboard. Check out the description for the story, and join the Discord if you like. Consider supporting the channel and the author as well. It's a dangerous world out there, but remember to be brave and look up to seek the stars.